Okay, real talk. Have you ever felt like everyone else got the life memo and somehow you missed it? Like you have friends out here getting promoted, starting businesses, posting their Bali sunsets, and you're over here Googling, how do you make toast without a toaster? I've been there way too many times that I can count, where I feel like I should just know these things by now. I mean, my dad knew everything, but I still don't have the same skills and mindset that he has. Today we're talking about why we feel behind in life, how social comparison kind of messes with us, and what we can actually do to get unstuck. Let's jump in. So why do we feel behind? One word: comparison. Psychologist Leon Festinger, or Festinger, not really sure how you say it, came up with this concept way back in 1954, saying we evaluate ourselves by comparing ourselves to others, because we can't always judge our abilities or our opinions on our own. And Festinger didn't even have to deal with Instagram filters, LinkedIn humble brags, or Facebook perfect vacations. He was working with newspapers and dinner parties. Imagine him today, because there's so much more information to go off of. I mean, Greg from middle school is now a crypto billionaire with a 12-pack and his own private jet. And meanwhile, I'm over here trying to figure out why my AC won't go on full blast. I can only go 3/4 of the way. I can't get all the way, and I still don't know why that is. Let's break down the comparisons. There are two main comparisons that we make. Some are objective. You know, you're taller, faster, richer, more degrees, more followers, more subscribers. These are kind of quantifiable and they have a number attached to them. They're easy to see and compare because it's very visual. You know, think about things you could easily put on a graph to show off. And then there are the subjective comparisons. Do people actually like me? Am I wiser than so-and-so? Do I really understand politics or the things that I should be knowing? And look, these subjective ones, they feel really personal. They hit you right in the existential spleen. And worst of all, they often have no scoreboard. So it's all just in our head. Like, how do you measure if someone's winning at being a good person? You can't. Unless you somehow found a way to graph how good a person is from Dolores Umbridge all the way to Mr. Rogers. I'm sure we could probably figure out a system. So what happens? We start internalizing this pressure. Suddenly it's, I should be doing more by now. I should have this figured out already. I should own a house, a second car, a 5-year plan, and a 7-figure business that runs totally online and by itself. But the truth is, a lot of that pressure isn't real. It's not coming from your boss, your parents, even your old high school buddy who now has 3 Teslas. It's us. It's our own head. We start putting ourselves in these imaginary races where we're on these invisible treadmills against other people who we think are running way faster and further than we are. But really, that's just our own feelings and thoughts. So do we have to feel behind? No. Being behind implies that there's some universal timeline. Like we're supposed to reach a certain level of life status by the time we're 30, or we won't be able to progress. There's no scoreboard. There's no life referee that's going to blow a whistle at you because you didn't start a retirement fund at 22. But if you haven't, I'd encourage you to start that. Compound interest is really, really nice. And the earlier you start, the better you'll be. Trust me. People bloom at different times. Some people do it at 19, others, their late 60s. And just for reference, take a look at some of these famous examples. J.K. Rowling was 32 years old when Harry Potter was first published. Mark Zuckerberg was 19 when Facebook was created. Dude Perfect members were probably somewhere in their 20s when they reached internet fame with their trick shots. These are some people who achieved success fairly early on, I would say. But there's also plenty of people who bloomed later by comparison. In the McDonald's video I did a little while back, Ray Kroc didn't start working with McDonald's until he was in his 50s. Tolkien was 63 when he finally finished Lord of the Rings. Heck, even Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until he was 62. Which means I still have a few decades to become a total chicken mogul. I'll think on that. And even after looking at some of these examples, let's say we still feel behind. That's okay. What are we going to do about it? Let's not wait for next Monday or even next month. Figure out what direction you want to go in and what you want to achieve. And do something towards it today. I've talked about this a lot in the last few videos, but I think it's so critical to understand. Taking that first step, however small, gets you started on the path, gets you to where you want to be, however small of a step it may be. A 10-minute walk to kind of sort your thoughts out. 1 email sent. Reading 1 page of a book. Forget all the fancy cars that you see driving around, all the perfect vacations that people seem to be going on social media nonstop. The best forms of comparison are where we are currently to where we were in the past. Are we doing better than we were a year ago, 6 months ago, heck, even a week ago? If yes, awesome. How can we keep that momentum going? Let's keep working on that. If not, let's start figuring out some small wins that we can get today. That kind of momentum is really magnetic. Another big thing is if we're doing these comparisons, use them as fuel, not just as fire. If we're going to compare ourselves to others or to ourselves in the past, we have to let it inspire us, not cripple us. Turn this envy or jealousy into curiosity. How did they get there? What can I learn from them? Take the time to study and learn how you can reach those same peaks. It's always beneficial to invest in yourself and your capabilities. And a lot of the times, these successful people are willing to teach and share what they did to get to where they are. Which is where the series of How Blank got started, where I started looking into other companies on how they got started and how they became the giant global sensation they are today. The idea being that maybe we could copy off their homework, follow the paths that they have taken. Step away from some of the highlight reels of people's lives in social media and get back to your real life. Of course, talking about feeling behind, I always want to make sure I talk about imposter syndrome. It's that little voice in your head that whispers, "You're not actually good at this. You have no idea what you're doing." Any minute now, someone's going to find out that you have no clue what's going on. Imposter syndrome is this idea in the brain where evidence of your success is more likely attributed to luck than your actual own skills and talents and personality. It tries to convince you that you're just lucky that no one knows that you have no idea what you're doing. But the truth is, we're all kind of trying to figure things out. Imposter syndrome really bites because you kind of start making new progress in your life. Maybe it's a new job, a new creative outlet, a new responsibility. And suddenly, instead of feeling proud of where you are, you kind of feel like a fraud. You start thinking things like this: if I was really talented, I wouldn't feel this nervous. Real adults don't ever feel this lost. Other people totally have it figured out. Why am I over here Googling how to actually install bifold closet doors? Believe me, it's been a whole thing. We've been trying to get them up for like 6 months. I still have no clue what's going on. I can't figure it out. We have to get new hardware. It's a whole thing. But here's what I've learned. Imposter syndrome doesn't mean that you're faking it. It usually means that you're growing. It means that you actually care about where you want to be. It means you're doing something that you haven't fully mastered yet, which is exactly how mastery actually begins. Everyone starts out as a beginner. A lot of the times when we look up to our role models or the people who seem to have everything figured out, they had to start somewhere too. And yes, sometimes the confidence shows up after you start doing something, not before. It's okay to be anxious about the future. We all are. Especially now when it feels like the world is spinning faster and faster, and it seems like everybody has a podcast or a side hustle or heck, an NFT museum. All we have to do is make sure that anxiety doesn't paralyze us. We can acknowledge the fear and still move forward. We don't need to solve or figure out everything in our life by this Friday. We just need to take another small step, then another, and another. And slowly your confidence starts to grow. Not because you faked it, not because you didn't earn where you are. It's because you kept going, even when it might have felt a little pointless. So if you're feeling behind in life, just remember, you're not late. There is no universal timeline of where we should be by a certain age and anything like that. Maybe we're just early in our story. We don't all get the same starting line. We don't all get the same map. Heck, we don't even all have the same race to run. But if we keep walking on our path, one step at a time, we'll get to our somewhere, wherever that may be. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to make you famous, but it has to be yours. And if you want a little bit more motivation, here's some awesome, crazy business ideas that people have started. You have the hot dog water cleanse, selling people hot dog water as a way for health benefits. People shipping potatoes to other people with miscellaneous messages written on them. The potato parcel. Your path and your life can be as unique and crazy as you want it to be. Just make sure you make it yours. Let me know in the comments what feeling behind looks like for you and what your next small win is going to be. Let me know and I'll respond to as many comments as I possibly can. If nothing else, enjoy what you're currently doing and work on where you want to go. Until next time, my name's Colt Bullock. This has been the My Career Path Podcast, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.